Sorry about this. Reoriented. I'm hoping it's broadcasting in the way that I want it to, and not like on the side of your screen. But we'll see. Anything? Anything? Okay. Well, anyway, we're live. Just saw the camera go. There we go. Camera's going. I mean, the mic is going. Well, I was right about. I did a video yesterday doing some mixing and mastering, and I happened to use a few seconds of Stone Temple Pilots' song Down as an EQ match for my. They have an EQ matcher in T-Rax, and so it got. I won't say it got struck, but it's got not temporary. It's got a bit of a ban on it. It's not played in certain areas. America's probably one of those. If anyone would like to see that, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it again. It's no big deal. It's not like I did like a masterful job or anything like that. It's I love mixing and mastering anyway, so I don't mind doing it ever. I'm going to be doing a mixing thing for too long, so I figured I would go ahead and start talking a bit of ways about like the way things used to be done. I'm waiting on some. I'm decarbing so I can make some oil. So, anyways, growing up in the '90s, like I said, if you didn't have the hardware, you just didn't have anything. So if you didn't have a recording system like a 4 track or an 8 track or something like that, then you can record, man. You just couldn't record. So you need like at least a 4 track, and you probably needed like a mixing board because with those 4 tracks, you could turn it into a bigger if you had like everything mixing through a mixing board. You just print down to 2 tracks. Does that make sense? Like you have all the drums going through one bus, and you make it sound good through that mixer board, and then that goes out to 2 tracks on your drums on your thing, and or you might have the bass and guitar on there also, which would be 2 tracks on your 4 tracks, and then you'll have 2 tracks for vocals. Make sense? Terrible recordings. But they were more for back in the day for getting a demo. You weren't really trying to um, cut the whole album. Matter of fact, they preferred you not to because they have people like Andy Sheps and they have trained professionals to do that. But you would have to have a demo of some sort to of any kind for like if an A&R guy came and checked out your show. There was a whole system back in the day the way things would work, and you it would start out with you and your friends that were interested in playing music, and you'd get together, and two, three of you would get together. One plays drums, one plays bass, one plays guitar. You may all be learning at the same time, or some of you, one of you maybe learned a little bit more learned. If they are, they tend to be the leader because they understand how music works a little bit better. They've already written some songs. They need a drummer and a bass player, and they're willing to sit there and work with you and wait with you while you learn your drums because they don't have anybody else, and your friends. And or you run into people at school, high school, elementary school that oh, you're in marching band? Yeah. Can you play a drum set? Yes. I'm just doing drums so I can do like drums for whatever call it for school, so I can get better with my hands and stuff. I learn all the training, and then I just translate that to my drum kit. Well, I know how to play bass. We just need like a vocalist, and we pretty much kind of have a band if we could get a guitarist. And there's everyone wants to play guitar, so we could probably get a guitarist. Starts in some formation of that. Then you start working together. You start writing. If you guys are just learning, if you're both just starting out, if everybody in the band's just starting out, you tend to start with covers because those are finished songs that people like. And you don't necessarily have an idea of what you want to write about, especially at that age. You're usually pretty young, so you don't really have a lot of deep, meaningful heartbreak relationships to go dig through. You don't have a lot of just don't have a lot of real experience. I was like 13 when I started, so I mean, really, what the fuck would I know? You know, school lunches. You know what I mean? Had never had a girlfriend at that time, but I could play other people's stuff. I could learn by ear other people's music, and then start getting an idea of how songs are structured. Okay, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. Come back to the chorus and do the chorus 2 times and go out, and then there's like an outro. Gotcha. Okay. And then you listen to other songs, and you start learning that that's not the only structure there is. There's other structures out there. You can build it in whatever structure, kind of like poetry. You don't have to just write in sonatas. There's tons of ways to write poetry, including ones you can create yourself, completely self-made up. A rhyme scheme no one's ever seen before. It's all you. It's art. And so the quicker you get to that point where you respect your peers and those before, but you're not subservient, you're not below them in any way, shape, or form. Yes, they're amazing. Yes, they inspired you to start doing stuff. Yes, meeting them would be a thrill. Possibly. They could be assholes. You don't know. Because we build up in our head what we need them to be. When you're learning guitar, as you're learning the riffs, if they're kind of easy riffs, or you figure out how to do it and you get in that person's mindset, it's easy for you to picture them going, "Yeah, man, you got it. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. You're a lot like me. You know exactly how to play. Yeah, I'm self-taught too. You can picture this, whatever." And then when you go to meet them, they're like, "Why would you spend all your time learning all my songs? Why don't you go write your own songs?" So wait, you spent all your time learning my song? Yeah, I dialed in your tone. It's just incredible. And then like, why would you waste your time doing that? And like I said, you can be disillusioned by meeting your heroes. I would have been totally disillusioned by meeting Mark Lanigan when I talked to him, but I had seen to come to where I'm from. It was an interview situation, and he just clearly did not care for the whole interview after the show process. And yeah, I mean, not everybody does that, but he understood also that that's where his money comes from. So, you know, that's fine. But again, meeting your heroes can be very disappointing if you're expecting to meet who you made them out to be. If you go in expecting to meet a person and hope they're like the person you imagined, go for it. Other than that, just don't do it, because they're not gonna live up to what you had, because you need them to be something. A teacher who taught you how to play guitar. You know what I mean? The person who shaped the way you play drums. They may be a very vain, selfish person and be like, "Well, you stole that's my lick. Get your own lick. Why are you stealing my shit?" You know what I mean? They might be like that. I might be like, "Really? You can play that? Send my kid and play that." Fuck. All right. Shit. How old are you? 15. Fuck. All right. Yeah. It took me a good. I was like 25 when I fucking wrote that. Wow. And you're starting there. You know what I mean? It may be that way, which is what you hope it is, but it could be any combination of those mixes. Speaking of, I will be mixing. I found a song that I'm going to do. Um, I'm going to remix it. I'm going through a lot of my old Cakewalk songs, and Cakewalk for some reason does not want to. It doesn't want to play as well with my PreSonus interface, but they did make a new feature to Cakewalk, which is the ability to export stems. So as long as I can load the song enough to export all the pieces out, and I'll just turn off all the EQs and all that other stuff. Fuck that. I don't need any EQs on that. I'll just take the original mixes of what I originally recorded, and I'll bring them into Studio One, So when I save them as the name and the BPM. So that way when I go to load it into Studio One, I can go ahead and set the tempo. Like okay, this one's called, whatever. And the BPM is 100. I set the BPM at 100. So when I load everything, it locks into the grid. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Got all the stems, got all the pieces, got all the parts of the song. And then just like if they were dry tracks, I just need and they are some of them after I started using the Behringer V amp. Um, I wanted a Pod XT Pro, but I couldn't get one. It was too expensive because, like I said, back in the day, there was a high technology. The Behringer V amp Pro 2, V amp V amp 2 Pro, um, was basically Behringer's Line 6. Same thing, same features, same all the stuff. It didn't have the possibility to do the deep dive of the editing with the hardware and with the software. But I mean, it had an editor, but it wasn't as good. So um, do then is after that point, I started reamping everything, like all my guitars, all my basses. I just reamped them all because it had speed if out. It also had dry outs. It had all kinds of out. Like the pod has all kinds of outs, dry out, amped out, all kinds of stuff. So I run the amped out to my mixing board so I can monitor without recording it. I can dial in a sound that, like I said, will let me through the song. Like, okay, I need a more of a vintagey Marshall kind of sound. I dial up a Marshall, dial up a gain, dial up a good sound. I'm ready to record the take, which will be recorded dry into the computer. The digital goes out of that. And that was like around 2001. I remember doing a song called Some Other Day, and that was off of Música para los Muertos. And that was the start of me doing. That's when I got the thing. That was my first one that had the Behringer. I remember saving it the original way with the amps on it, and then I was so excited that I saved it as a separate track. I was like, I got to remember this one because this one's a Behringer, because I dry tracked it, and I was able to reamp out, send the track out, and bring it back in as many amps as I want to, as many times of tweaking and stuff. It was really cool. Listen to it in real time. Very cool feature. So, yeah. There we go. Um, but back in the day, you would record things to not to tape. You wouldn't record it to a hard drive, and tape was expensive. Tape was a physical medium, and it cost money. Hard drive is a digital medium, so you can do non-destructive recording, meaning that you can record over a part and cut it and erase that part and then record some more parts over that, and then like I like the original take first and then use that again. In tape, that's just gone. It's gone. There's no saving the original audio file and editing the audio file, just cutting half the audio file out and then starting again, recording and cutting half the audio file out and then mixing those two together for a best take. There was none of that. I mean, you could do that, but it would be the first half and then you have to punch in and then play the second half. Which you can do. There's so much great shit about being digital. That is my, let me go turn that off real quick. That is decarbed. So, what you'd have is the, fuck. Hang on a second. All right. All right, so you have the shit. The thing about recording back in the day, it was much more permanent. You had to be much more professional. You had to be much more consistent. You had to deliver. You had to have talent because there wasn't like 20 takes. Lip syncing would probably get you completely removed unless it was like a situation that really required it, you know? Because authenticity is has always been and probably always will be pretty key. Yeah. What the hell, man? We back? Yeah, now you want to do this. Yeah. Who knows, man? World's a weird place. You didn't want to do this earlier. Now I'm probably sideways on your screen, looks like. Oh well, who cares? I'm sitting on the side of your screen. So, you had to have talent going in. And now, if you had a certain amount of talent, they would work with you to get you to the level of industry standard, where you're performing on, you know, and that takes a little development because not you don't usually just come into the thing ready to handle shit. You know what I mean? You're not really that. It's not a normal situation to be an entertainer. It just isn't. If it was, we wouldn't find anything entertaining about someone who stands up in front of a crowd, would we? Because everybody does it. It's just, but that because of the fact that it is entertainment, because of the fact that it isn't normal, we're willing to pay money. Like right now, I'm sitting here talking. No one is for free. No one's tuning in. However, if someone of importance, Neil deGrasse Tyson or someone like that, tuned in for a second and was like, "Hey, this guy's actually pretty smart," and they vouched for what I was saying, how many people would pay for a TED talk? As boring as these are, as boring as my talks have been, people will sit and pay for that when someone else has already said this guy's smart. Listen to him. If you're not, they're like, Jesus Christ, dude, you talk forever. If you are smart, they're like, wait, you gotta go? You gotta go. But I still have some questions. You know what I mean? That fawning, that just longing for your time. Why? Because Neil deGrasse Tyson said I was. You know what I mean? Because someone so and so vouched for me. What do you say about my intelligence? Don't. That's why gatekeepers are somewhat necessary in the music industry. I know I jump around, but I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm just talking, anyways. Gatekeepers are kind of necessary because everything isn't great. Not all artists are really great. What's even better is by creating a gatekeeper, a cool guy area. And here's how you really, the most inclusive and fair is you have not one gatekeeper, but on that gatekeeper list, there are people who are of all kinds of spectrums, all kinds of nationalities that like all kinds of types of music, all types of different books, all different kinds of films. But each one will recommend to like the other person. Like if I'm really big into like fantasy, So people are like, hey man, have you seen so and so? I'm like, yeah, I'm big into fantasy. I've seen that. I don't really like it. Oh, I really liked it. Can I recommend one for you? And then like, you watch, like, okay, I see why you didn't like the one. Mine was kind of campy, but I kind of like campy movies. Like for campy movies, Dudes and Dragons is good. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. But as far as if you like fantasy, you asked if I like fantasy. You didn't ask about like campy fantasy movies. You see the difference? Comedy is another one I can be like, okay, I would consider myself a good judge of comedy movies too. But I don't have a lot in all fields. So that's why you would have other people that would be there also that are also fellow gatekeepers. Basically, it's again, it's a pardon me for someone who would vouch among like a table of 12 people of all kinds of ethnicities and shit and backgrounds and musical tastes and even maybe even countries. You know what I mean? And then or at least countries of origin, so there's different tastes represented. So at least someone there, like, hey, dude, I really don't know Arabic music, and this guy, I do. Okay, and you play something for me. Okay, I like that. I'm not big on Arabic. Is that? I think it's pretty good. Is that considered? Oh, that's considered very good. I like. I really like it a lot myself. But not only do I like it, but this is really hot. Like, okay, now let's check out this band. Having heard those other two, the one that you like, the one that's popular, and now hearing this, I have a good solid idea of whether or not I like this. Ain't bad. What do you think? I love it. It's kind of actually pioneering. He's not really stepping on Ravi Shankar. Yeah, hey man, if you say it's good, we're good. I trust your judgment because I heard the two songs that you liked. I don't have to like it. You like it? It's in. You see what I'm saying? The problem is we have people that are like, we only do rock. Sorry. You might want to try down the street. Have a good day. Bye. Yeah, sorry. We only do rap here. I know you have a rap singer, but with that rock and roll guitar stuff and like the live bands, I mean, it's not that we wouldn't know what to do with it, but we gotta get it cut. And with only one or two people, it's a lot easier for us to get it cut. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? But there's a gatekeeper saying yes or no. In that case, we'd have other people that one of the gatekeepers can assign like a mentor type person or be a mentor to that group. And the cool thing about having that is by having a cool kids table, you're inevitably going to have people that are going to rebel and say, well, we could get and so they're going to start an underground. And amongst that underground is going to rise up somebody that belongs actually on the above ground. They're going to be huge stars because they're humble enough to consider themselves underground. And they started in the underground. And they are underground. It just happens that everybody happens to like them, which doesn't make them not underground. It's just like they're just causing too much stir underground, and it's starting people start tearing the ground, going, "What the fuck's? Oh shit! You guys are having a party. Oh, and it sounds cool and fun. We want to be in it. We don't really. Ah, fuck! They just come down, don't they? Just come down, and they're gonna make a mess, leave us in shambles, and they're gonna head back up above ground, and we'll still be here underground with all their mess to clean up as they move on to the next party. And those people finally been cleaning up from the party they left. Oh, hey, you guys are back. Oh, fuck, you guys are back. I thought you were done partying. Fucking party never stops. Hey, look, guys, brand new cake. Remember the one we trashed last time? Yeah, it took me forever to get it out of the carpet. That was you? Oh, man, I thought it just cleaned itself up. That's cool of you to do that. Appreciate it. No, it's not cool of me to do it. It's my house. I had to, and you're just here. Didn't you guys go underground? Yeah, but that party's over, man. Started getting trashy down there. They're just scummy. Just so dirty and nasty. And so, the cool thing about Gen X is how we are pretty adaptable. There was a guy that was talking about the other day. There's a kid. There's a common thing to. There is a difference between the Gen Xers that make TikTok videos and YouTube videos about Gen X life, how it was hard and whatever. If you notice, they're smiling a lot, and even if it's like kind of fake smiling, like what I think her name was Gina. She kind of like does a sarcastic, but she's genuinely a happy person, I believe. They are Gen X. They're we proudly acknowledge all of them. Slim, all of you guys, acknowledge all of it. One, not doubting, not knocking it, but I think they'll agree. People like me were the ones that they called. And that's all I'll say about it. They'll probably be like, yeah, he's the one we're talking about. Yeah. And they kind of been telling you guys, okay, so that's one thing I was going to say about Gen X is that we're adaptable. Our parents were both working. We had to get home. We got home on our own, either riding the school bus, walking home. I was walking to and from school 5. My brother was 8, but he really didn't wait for me or anything like that. Yeah, I could see him. And sometimes we walked together, but I mean, if he had his friends and stuff, they were doing their own thing and whatever, and I was just, well, I knew the route. I knew the route. Ride my bicycle there. Kind of hard to ditch a kid on a bike because I mean you can pedal fast as fuck, man. Um, so yeah, riding a bike or walking to and from school, and I left from California at 7. So adaptable as fuck, and it wasn't a short walk. So I mean, and get there on time and get back on time, and nobody catch me or whatever. No better than to stop to talk to strangers, all that shit. Down south, both parents are working. Have to ride the bus home. Get yourself in. You gotta get some food because parents are gonna be home till at least like 6 or 7 o'clock. I had I had responsibilities and duties already, man. I was cooking dinner for a family of 5, young. As soon as they were giving out chores, because I like to cook. I started liking to cook when I was like 5 years old. It just fascinated me that my mom would go into the kitchen. There was like the door that was shut, and she'd come back. I mean, she'd go. I know what's in the kitchen, the shelves and the counters and stuff like that, because nothing's out on the counter, right? Then you go out and play, and she'd go in the door and come back with the fucking. It's not magic. What are you doing in there? That you're coming out with this delicious food? And so I go in there to see. And so let me pull up a little stool and she'd show me like how she's cooking stuff and everything. And I made my first meal for everybody when I was like 5 or 6. Totally screwed it up. It was a meatloaf. Then I just I got too excited, read too fast. I think it was like 2 cups of oatmeal or something like that. I read 2 cups of water. It was just very, very loose. Bless their hearts, I ate it anyways. It's just, very loose meatloaf. Once it dehydrated, I mean, yeah. Anyways, it wasn't like a soup or anything. Um, but from that made me like embarrassed as hell because my brother just like kept ragging me for years. And I just became insistent on getting better at cooking. You know what I mean? Being like a badass. That was not going to happen. And if it did, I could fix it. You know what I mean? That quick. Because it's just too much water. That would have been easy. That'd be easy as fuck to fix. Oh shit, 2 waters, and just kind of lean it and pour it. Even if when the season comes out, okay, it looks like we got some of the paprika and shit out there. I just keep track of what's going out, about how much. Reseason that shit. It'd been easier as fuck to do. But back then I was a kid and I was just like, oh no, what else do I do? And just mixing it all together. Um, but yeah, so then I started cooking for the whole family. 2 siblings and 2 parents and myself. Um, all through middle and high school. And then when I got out on my own, I cooked for 2. Just because I wanted to be in the practice of it. Yeah. And it always left me with extras that I could eat the next day, which is always cool. Plus, like I said, I'd be in the habit of cooking for 2. I don't want to be alone. Never have. But I don't like to be around a lot of people, being honest. A lot of people just bring me down, man. But Gen X is like adaptable as shit from those type of things. Having chores, like having to do laundry, having to do cook food, having to do all the other. You mean just all the shit. And then my brother had a set of chores, and he was never around, so he would never get to them. So my parents would have me to do it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, but you got to give me his allowance also. And they're like, fine, just get it done. And so I get it done, and then the week comes around, and it's time to hand out allowance, and then my parents hand me both allowances, and they're like, where's mine? They're like, you didn't do anything. You have to work to get money. He had to do your job and his job. We gave him your allowance. And, oh, he's pissed about that. But what can you do, man? You didn't do shit. That was the thing to getting an allowance, was to work. So, um, then also the desire to get out. To get out, get your own shit, because your parents would be like on you, man. They weren't your friend. They didn't understand. They didn't stop to talk to you. They weren't trying to mold you into the best you can be. Some of them were trying to fucking use you as a fucking weapon against their ex wife, your mom, or your dad. Some were not caring because they were trying to live their best life, because it is about time. I divorced your fucking piece of shit dad, and it's about time for me to live my life. Other people, or vice versa. Other people actually had both parents in there, but it just wasn't an ideal situation. So we all have like a real. There definitely wasn't any concern about us. It took other people stepping in to fucking just remind our parents, do you know where your kids are? Kids being left behind at school is very fucking common, dude. Parents forgetting, fucking common as shit. Leaving you to fucking play with dangerous ass toys. Not even thinking about it or caring. The fucking childproofing. The Gen X kids you see around are the ones that made it. The ones that aren't really fucking being really on the internet and stuff. I'm not saying like I'm not saying like I'm I'm on the internet. They're just people you don't want to really fuck with sometimes, man. You gotta wonder why don't they want a fucking footprint. Even their parents should be taking the footprint. Why don't they? Maybe the statute of limitations hasn't run out yet. You just don't fucking know. And so there's a lot of kids trying to provoke. And the thing is, you're not going to provoke those people. The people that you're going to, when you're going to provoke them is when you're live. They're not going to, they're not going to hear about your taunts. Your internet jeers about, well, I challenge you next to. No one's going to hear about that. Gina, Slim, those kind of people are going to fucking hear about it. Well, today you've chosen to attack Gen Z, and well, my friend, you know, that whole tribe of people, they'll hear about it. The people they're warning you about will hear about it in line when you're in the store. You're talking too loud. Depending on how they feel about it, they might, it just, there's different options of what to do. And there sure won't be a TikTok response. Matter of fact, all the talking is done. That's who you are fucking with. That's who you think you're fucking with are these funny guys. The funny Gen Xers. Who you're afraid of waking up are the ones that aren't really talking. Listening's a much better tool than talking. You can find out who's full of shit. Find out who's actually really scared behind their eyes. Who wants to go viral. Who is looking for Gen X to respond on them and backlash or whatever the term is. Stitch. Whatever. That's not what we mean when we say snitches get stitches. Because bitches get stitches too. I don't mean women, no. But isn't it funny though that women always go, you're a dog, you're a dog, you're a dog. Well, you sleep with me, so that makes you a female dog, which is a... How dare you? How dare you even think that about me? You mean person. Me? A female dog? No, I can call you a dog. It's like, oh, you goose. You're a fucking gander then. Oh, you sing I squawk like a dog. What? That's what it means. That's what you're doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like me sitting on the side of your screen. Ridiculous. Makes no sense. Your shit's all sideways. Hi. But you think you're straight. I'm the one who's sitting up, aren't I? Aren't I? You're the one who has to tilt their head to look at me correctly. Look at the fan. Which one of us is right? Virtual insanity is what we're living in. It's about time someone started fucking with the rules a little bit. Isn't it? Isn't it time? Oh wait, do I not have the right fucking camera? Do I need the right kind of glowy microphone? Should I have a fucking race car seat even though I'm not going nowhere and I'm just a fucking gamer who mainly plays fucking... Man, fuck you guys. You copycatting, synchronized heartbeat motherfuckers. NPC son of a bitches, dude. You ever seen NPCs in the game? They all dress similar. They all act similar. They all go to the same places. They all have the same fucking conversations. And they're all unaware they're just fucking NPCs in someone else's game. You know, I heard a theory the other day. Did ya? Was it just the other day? To explain 20,000 years of existence? They're saying the fucking pyramids are dated back possibly 10,000 years. The last time that there was a water in that area, which I don't believe. I mean, the Nile could have flooded, couldn't it? Nile's right there, right? I'll have to take a look and see where the Sphinx is. But I mean, the Nile flooding a little bit could explain the water overflow. Just me. Maybe I'm crazy. I'll have to look up how the Nile flows by the Sphinx. Because just where it is right now does not mean that at one point in time the Sphinx was not its feet dipped into the water. And it would flood. It would flood into the little basin behind it until he's sitting out of the water. Surrounded by water in this little pool. It's kind of like a judge of the river rise. Yeah, I can see his tail. No, we shouldn't start planning for about another week or two. When you can see the back, you can actually see his tail, that's when it's time to start planting. The ground's too saturated. Just another 2 weeks, guys. Just calm down. We can't judge when the water is coming or when it's receding, but we can watch and get a good test. Good answers, any? As it being older than you guys thought. So in other words, there's a big question mark. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Find out. If any river used to flow through there. Is there an old riverbed that's covered up by fucking sand now? Have you done aerial photos in FLIR? No? Just the Amazon? Okay. Okay. I'm not here to question your methods. Chief, you're the boss. You're the boss. You're the boss, Chief. You know it all. I'm just here to ask some questions, make sure that we get the right answers. Ain't that right, Hoss? Hoss and Pfeffer. Chicken noses, isn't that right? Smoke a bone. Huh. Chili Pepper, don't be that way. Honey do. Honey don't. Which one's the good one? This is the good one. Oh, almost. Almost dipped into the wrong. This one's the medium. Okay, so normally this would be my regular. This would be my weakest. This would be like either above this one or below this one. Because that's how you can tell by the mark on there, the little red there. And then this reminds me of chili, even though it's cinnamon. So this is always my strongest one. Well, I only cut two, and then I had two strong ones that I hadn't cut. So I mean, I'm really thinking they put something in the dispensary because I don't get a bunch, but it gets like a craving, like tobacco. Normally, I'm like I said, I'm decarbing some right now, so I can go ahead and make some oil, but that's gonna take 6 hours. In order to kick that strong, I need something to like in betweens. I need something to smoke on to kick in betweens because I'm having a hard, not almost a hard time. I'm down to about 6 tramadol a day, and it's not wanting to go down lower, which sucks because I'm only on 20 of Lexapro, and I'll have to check with my doctor to see if I can go up. Hopefully, I can go up another 10 because my body is not liking. I'm trying to go from 6 to 5. And it worked for a few days, and then my body just started doing like the brain zaps and stuff of the serotonin, which caused me to go running back. Yeah, I mean to get away from that because it sucks. Like your stomach starts churning, lips tingle, fingers are just it sucks. It really sucks. And so I'm back. I'm back up to about 6. So I need to call my doctor Monday. Let her know that I'm having a hard time getting down and can I go up on the Lexapro because yeah. I mean, I'm at a point right now. I just don't care anymore. There was a point I wanted to get off like tramadol and all the other stuff because of yada yada yada. I just don't care anymore. I really don't. I just don't care anymore. I think we're close to the end. Is why I don't care. I fully believe we're close to the end. Of whatever this is. Maybe I'm coming close to the end of mine. They say before people have heart attacks that they have a feeling of gloom and doom. I don't really feel gloom and doom. I just feel like the end of something, end of me. Maybe my end's near. But it feels bigger than that. The unrest in the streets, the moves being made against the people. I think Trump will be known as the great unifier, but not for the reasons he thinks. In the one thing we all can agree on is that he's a piece of shit type thing. You can imagine like your cousins and family or whatever that were kind of like lost to you, that you care about them, you still do. Like, dude, that dude's like fucking. He's on the Trump train, dude. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. Yeah, he's black. I don't know what his fucking problem is. I don't know what. I don't know. He was fine, and then he went to go. Even Bill Gates, unless Bill Gates is just trying to. He's part of the whole thing, you know? But Bill Gates said that, like sitting down meeting with Trump, the thing that impressed him. No, but like, it might be like, yeah, the only thing that impressed me, you know what I mean? It might have been that kind of thing, and they blew like the thing that impressed Bill Gates. I can see how the media could totally twist that. He's like, yeah, dude, is just he's nuts. But the thing that impressed me, how unimpressive he is. How utterly unimpressive he is. Like, how did you get this far? Being so. Huh? Huh? You just make things up as you go? Yeah, yeah, you just make it up as you go. Mm hmm. That's the most impressive. So you just lied your way all the way to the presidency. Wow. 2 times. Fuck. And they just bought it. Yeah. Wow. How and why? I don't know. I think I might be the Antichrist. Yeah, that would make sense. I believe that. It impressed me how candid he was about how evil he is. The same people that are talking about exposing Jeffrey Epstein and all the people, the child pedophiles that are in Jeffrey Epstein's book, don't want it to come forward because it's got Trump's name in it 15 times, supposedly. Lest I bear false witness. Supposedly it has his name 15 times in there. And if it does, I hate to tell you guys this, but that is someone who's put in an order and wants to know as soon as it comes in. Yes, that's gross. Owner of Miss Teen USA, Walker in on teens changing their clothes. He's now our president. Was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Was, I don't say was because he's dead. You know what I bet? I bet you those photos with him and his daughter were probably pictures for Jeffrey to get fucking, this is what I'm looking for. You see what I'm saying? But not my daughter. I don't want. I mean, I. Okay, yeah, my daughter, but I don't. That's bad. I can't. I would if it wasn't bad. Dogs do it. Cats do it. Can I? Can I do it? Okay, I can't do it. Okay, I can't do it. Really, I can't. Now I want to do more. Shit. No, I really do because I can't. It's the one thing I can't do. Then it becomes this obsession. Just like being called the most powerful man on the planet. Just like how he's obsessed with, sir. You ever notice how he's like a child? And they come in. First off, these big manly men are always coming up to him crying with tears in their eyes. And there's other stories how these people come into the room and just have so much respect for him. They're like, sir, there are 40 million people, blah, blah, blah. Sir. Oh, that's a lot of people. So what do you think? Sir, I think we should do this, sir. He's in love with that fucking idea that they have to. You see what I'm saying? They have to. There's no choice. I get to be me and do whatever I want to do. You have to address me. When I tell you to shut up, you have to. We're moving on from your question to the next question. Never mind that Fox News. Never mind that Fox News would not. Never mind that Fox News would not fucking. Never mind you are Fox News and you try to hold me to the same. Never mind. Next question. I already told you to shut up. Next question. Because you always gotta get the last word. So that he looks like he's a strong man. That person always like we're moving on. You can live with that. I already told you to shut up. Oh, dude, now I want to fucking throw a rock to your face. But if I do, now I look like I'm the piece of shit. But if I don't, it looks like you fucking dominated me. If you haven't noticed, Donald Trump uses compromised people. The thing you should be looking out for, the thing you should be asking yourself, if you were smart, would you not? Because Mitt Romney hasn't changed positions on Trump. J.D. Vance has changed positions on Trump. Look at other people that have changed positions on Trump and ceded their power over to him and don't question. James Comer, Jared Moskowitz, any Democrats that say we should work, Cenk Uygur, and a Kasparian. On and on. Why are you guys bowing to him? What has he got on you that you go from calling him Hitler to growing a beard and being his vice president? Or is there another group of people that are planning on using him to fuck up? Because he's a useful idiot. He is a useful idiot. Look at what he's doing. He's got the people. The Republicans don't have the people. They need the people. They need to identify as conservative first. Christian second. And even American third, because you guys would rather be Russian than a Democrat. If heaven was full of Democrats, I'd rather live in hell, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Then be wrong. To be wrong and forgiven and brought back into the fold. You'd rather just so heaven's got avocado toast? I don't want to go. I don't care if it tastes good. I don't want to go. So we don't get to eat steak? You can't eat steak, but then they mostly whatever you want to choose? No. I'm eating with a bunch of liberal vegetarians. Because your pride. That's going to be your undoing. Then you bring in a charismatic leader after you get him to identify as conservative first. Because you gotta be conservative first before you're Christian, because Christianity and conservatism do not line up. At all. Lay your treasures in heaven. What about that says I've got to have enough money to take care of myself? Because God may not provide for me later on. Because I have no faith. But this gold, this is going to save me. Oh, when God won't protect me, this gold will. Hey, buddy, don't rape my wife. I'll give you this bar of gold. Okay, now you take the bar of gold. You're going to shoot me and rape my wife? That didn't help me at all. God damn it, they said invest in gold. So, conservatism and Christianity don't go together. So I gotta get you to believe in conservatism first, Christianity second, America third. Because America and Christianity don't go together either. The Ten Commandments and Christianity do not go together. Any God you want, thou shalt have one God. Thou shalt not steal. If you steal, we're going to rehabilitate you and put you back out there. They're in contradiction. Thou shalt not kill, unless I give you a gun and say, there's the enemy. There was no asterisks. There's no asterisks in the Ten Commandments. There's no asterisks. Thou shalt not kill. Plain simple. And then the army's like, your soul better belong to Jesus because your ass belongs to American Marine Corps. And you go, sir, yes, sir. Like Donald Trump always praised you, Tim. See how you bow down to America first. You can't have two masters. So what you try to do is conflate them together. You try to mix them all together as one. So that way you're not serving 2, 3 masters. You're not serving money, God, America, and the Republican Party. They're all the same. And that's why your brain's all fucked up. At least the Democrats aren't conflating their religion. There are Christian Democrats, but they're specifically trying not to mix their fucking chocolate and their peanut butter. The only ones complaining about separation of church and state are conservative Christians. Why is that? Oh, because you think that in the land of freedom, and land of freedom of choice and freedom of religion, you shouldn't have freedom of religion. Or you should be free to choose whichever Christianity you want. I mean, we got Southern Baptists, we got Baptists, we got Mormon, we got Episcopalian, we got Catholic. Pick whichever kind you want of Christianity. No, 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 no. Me and my friends, we got together with a bunch of firearms and stuff, and we're protecting ourselves in case the army goes tyrannical. Are you well regulated? We regulate each other. That's not well regulated. Who's the captain? Well, it's my backyard. Who is the commander? Oh, we don't have that structured. And where are you licensed? Oh, we're not. The government might find us. And who takes roll call? Nobody. Who is your treasurer? Treasurer, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? We have our own target to shoot at. Apparently, the fathers you love so fucking much believed in regulations. Shut the fuck up, please. A well regulated militia. They so much believed in regulation that they came up with a document called the Constitution to regulate the government, giving the power of the government to regulate industry and things like that, through things like the EPA. Once again, on behalf of the unborn children that you supposedly love, who want clean drinking water they don't have to pay for through one of your fucking companies that has drained all the nuclear and toxic shit out of it. I know you that's what you want because water is a necessity. So if you can make it where all the regular water is poisoned, we have to come crawling on our knees begging. And if you decide you want to shut us off from that, you can. If you want to taint the one coming from the air so we can't stick our tongue out without burning our tongues, you can. Because you're that fucking wicked and evil. And then you clean all the toxins out or you buy all the fresh water. Because you're fucking evil. Why else would the Bushes buy one of the largest reservoirs of fucking fresh water in a country they don't live in, affecting the people that actually live there? Because you're evil. Tell you what, I've got 40 billion acres square of sky I'll sell you. Since you're buying the water, and then you would not believe how much outer space I will sell you. I will sell you so much. It'll be all yours. I'll give you the deed and everything. It'll be official. I have Photoshop. And when they ask why are you here, you can break out your little piece of paper and tell them how you have the right. How you bought it from me. I've even got a couple bridges I'll sell you. There's a couple apartments downtown New York. I do have some earthquake-proof banks in San Francisco. I'll sell them all to you. Cheap prices. I mean, we're going cheap. Fire sale. I've just got too much of this sky, space, and apartments on my hands, and I need to get rid of some of them. Would you be interested in buying some? How about some lightning? I've got some lightning that is, you got to be quick and catch it, but they'll be yours. I'll wait for you. I'll wait with you. You got to have the capture device, and I'll sell you each one. As many as you can catch. I'll be inside, but as many as you catch, I'll let you have them. I won't be paid up front, though, if you don't mind. Cool? We got a deal? You want to buy some lightning? Why not? You're buying all the water. Would you like to buy some grass? I have some in my front yard. How about the oxygen? I could sell you all the oxygen. By the cubic centimeter, it's going to be a little bit expensive because, I mean, it's a necessity. But I'll sell it to you. You're buying up the Great Lakes? You're buying up these in lakes in other countries? Oh, I bet they're not even for sale. They have people living on them that are complaining, so I don't think they're for sale. But somehow you own them. So I'll ask again, do you want to buy the air? I want to say the air that's inside my house, if you don't mind. I need some. But the rest of anybody outside this, fuck them. Who cares? Right? Better, I mean, someone's going to do it. If we don't sell it, if I don't sell it to you, someone's going to buy it. Right? Because they all need it. They're wanting that oxygen, that sweet, sweet oxygen. You know what they would do without it? They act like they'd die. Turns out they're just addicted. And I mean, I see how you got the water because they're addicted to that too. It sucks, man. It sucks. I've got like a 8 ounce a day habit at least. Well, no, this is probably like about a 40. Yeah, I got like a 40 ounce a day habit, man. It sucks, dude. So I can see why you'd buy it because right now it's like what 50 cents for a gallon. So, um, will you promise to rub it down in sand and rocks and glass? You can skip the Vaseline if that makes you feel better. Bandages for what? Oh, through the throat. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, for that. I thought you were talking about the back way. Then yeah, bring the bandages. Since you're gonna be jamming. I didn't know we were doing mouth play also. My butt's getting kind of used to it after 48 years. Very creative to start going for the throat now. Fuck Donald Trump.